guys, this is Lisa back with another video from May's design team, and I thought this week I would go over and show you my version of the post-it note holder. May did one this week on her channel, and she told some of you folks that I did a post-it note holder at the last Made It Con in Tennessee, so I thought I would show you that process. If you have leftover cardstock, if you've got leftover pattern paper from any project you've done, and especially this bits and pieces that comes with die cuts or the ephemera packs, this will be a really cool way to use some of those leftover pieces up. This is everything that you need to make this project. You're going to need mostly an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. And I also have a small piece here that I've cut out of that. Just your regular everyday tools, some scissors, some sticky tape, any tape that's double-sided less than 1/2 of an inch will work well with this. You can use art glitter glue, but it's going to get a little messy. I like to use an acrylic block to cut my tape, a black archival pen, a partial stack of sticky notes, and a miniature pencil. And then you might have some miniature pens at home. And here again, I've used, you can see just a little bit of pattern paper that's going to coordinate together. That's going to make up where this red was here and this little strip. And then you can use your die cuts here. And so I've just pulled a few of those die cuts out, so we'll kind of see where we go from there. So this one that we made at Made It Con, of course, is in May colors, and it was some leftover bits and pieces that we made out of other classes, so it was a great way to use those up. So I thought I would make another one with you today that's going to match my home decor, and my home decor is farmhouse style look. So I made a couple of projects already with this paper pack, Romance Simple Stories. You can get this at maymaymadeit.com, and so I'm going to be using some bits and pieces up of that pack to make this. Okay, we'll get started. Move all this out of the way. We're going to get started with the base, which will be the black cardstock, and this is what we're going to make with that black cardstock. That one 8.5 by 11 piece will make this base here, and this little bitty piece here is going to become our pencil holder. It's going to be in a U shape. So I will have the measurements on the blog post and down below in the description, but this black piece of paper we're about to fold is in these dimensions. It's a 5 3/4 by 11 inch piece of paper. I scored on the 5 3/4 side at a 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 4 3/4, and 5 1/4. And then I turned it this way in my scoreboard on the 11 inch side and scored it at 2, 2.5, 6, 9.5, 10, and 10.5. And I know that's a lot of scoring marks, so I will have that in the description and in the blog post. And this little bitty black strip that I have here is 1.5 by 1 inch, and I scored on the 1.5 inch side at 1/2 and 1. And then again, we're going to fold this into a U shape to make our pencil holder so that won't fall over. Okay, to get started, I've got this done on white, so it's a little bit easier to see. Your top piece is always going to be with the 3 score lines. That's going to be the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut on the second score line all the way down and only have this left. So here, grab my example, is what it will look like when we're done cutting. It's going to be this long skinny piece and only this part is left. When we're done with that, we're going to put tape on the 3 edges all the way around on the top side on those 3 flaps. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to start at the top where those 3 score lines are, cutting on the most inside score line. I'm going to cut straight down until I get to the very last score line, and that's where I'm going to stop. And then I'm going to cut over on the end, just like that. Okay, and do that on both sides. I thought this would be a really cool way to use up some of my beautiful scraps, especially when you only have maybe 6 inches by 6 inches of paper left over. And this will be really cool, fun, cute, and easy Christmas presents to make for a teacher or anyone that uses Post-it notes on their desk. Okay, so this is what we're left over with. And now I'm just going to put some tape. Like I say, any sticky tape or score tape that is less than 1/2 inch will work on this. 1/2 inch is a little bit too big because you don't want to get tape all the way to the score line. You're going to tape closest to the cut edge, and there again I'm using my acrylic block. I like to do that just because to me it's easier to get a clean straight cut. You can also use scissors if you're more comfortable with that. So you just need it in these 3 spots on the 3 edges all the way around your project. Okay, so this is what it will look like. It'll be here on the very ends, at the top on the very end. Easy peasy. Now we're just going to do our folding. So I'm going to start folding on my score lines, just getting those started to work on the bottom of the piece. So you can see where we're going with this, right? This is going to make this little box, this bottom piece. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this bottom up, and the tape is going to tape around to the back. So it's going to look like this when I am done. And then I'll have a flat bottom. Somebody laughed at me when I kept saying flat bottom. It made it gone. We were silly because it was so late by the time we had done 8 rounds, I believe, of this. So it was so much fun though. 100 people, or almost right at 100 people, came through my table to make this project in 15 minutes. It was funny. Okay, so what I like to do to get this square, I like to stand it up on my workspace and then wrap this around, but then I get it square by making sure, sorry about that, I get it square by making sure that the bottom of both pieces line up by hitting them on my work surface. Okay, and then put my finger in there and just make sure it's square. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Put it on my work surface and then put my fingers in here and make sure now that that is square. Okay, so here's where we are so far. So now all we're going to do is we're going to fold these top score lines. So the first score line folds to the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and unfold that just so it's easier to work with. And then you have 3 score lines at the top. We're going to accordion fold. We're going to go down, up, down, and we should be able to see our tape. Okay, so I'm going to go down, accordion fold. The next one go up. Then the third one I'm going to go back down, and I should see my tape now. The tape is on the outside and it's an accordion fold. So now when I fold my project together, that tape is just going to tape now to the bottom of that box. So it's going to look like this. Okay, so now just take the tape off. Once you've made one of these, it is so easy. The only time-consuming part of this is just doing all that scoring, but it's super duper easy. And when I first saw a similar project like this, they made it out of 12 by 12 paper, and I redesigned it so that you could use 8.5 by 11. That makes it a little more cost-effective. The only caveat I have to that is since this gusset on the sides, if I can get a good view here, is only a 1/2 inch instead of an inch if you use 12 by 12 paper, it can be kind of top heavy, so keep that in mind. You may have to put something in here to give it a little more weight to keep it from toppling over if you put something heavy in there. But I haven't had that problem unless I just set it down really hard or something. Okay, so now before we put our pencil holder in there, we need to mat so that it's matted over, okay? So these two pieces of paper, my pattern pieces, I matted at 1 3/4, or excuse me, I cut it 1 3/4 by 3 1/2 on both of those. And they are going to be where the red is here, okay? And to make this pretty, especially when we just had the red paper, we did some stitching on those. You can see on this first one I've done some stitching around. And the way I like to do my stitching is the whole dot and dash method. So I just went around the whole thing. Can you imagine we all did this in 15 minutes? Now granted, we had everything cut out. They were in baggies, ready to go. But we did the little cutting. We put the tape on. We did this stitching on both sides, and we glued everything down, and we were done in 15 minutes. And I tell you, some groups got done quicker than others, and some I was sweating it out that we would get finished. But we did. We got finished. If people were behind or didn't understand any of the steps, it was so great. The person next to them would just step in there and help them out and get it done. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use my art glitter glue. I get my pen out here, shake it a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and mat. Maybe. Sometimes it likes to form a vacuum on me, and you have to loosen it a little bit. There we go. If that ever happens to you, you will know why. So I'm going to, this is, yeah, my top piece. So that's going to go in here. And once you get this top piece in, you can put in your pencil holder. But while we're here and working on it, we'll go ahead and put this bottom piece here and line that up. And you can see how the pattern just continues down from the top to the bottom. So we'll go ahead and put some art glitter glue on that and put that down on the bottom. You can see we've got a perfect 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And next we will put our pencil holder in. So this was the 1 1/2 by 1 inch that we scored on the 1/2 inch. And what we're going to do is fold this into a U shape and have glue on both sides. And we're going to tuck this down into the side, and that's going to become our pencil holder, just like you can see on this one that we did at MadeItCon. This one you can use wet glue, but it's going to be messy. But I think I'll go ahead and try that. I think most people use tape, and we did this at MadeItCon. And we are almost there. Let's see. So just pick whichever side you want to be your pencil holder. You slide this down in there. Hold it for a second to glue. Clean that up. And now you can see that is where your pencil holder is going to be. I just glued it flush with the top. And art glitter glue dries really quickly, so that shouldn't take very long. So all that's left now is to do a little bit of embellishing. This is 3/4 by 3 1/2 inch strip. So I'm going to glue that down. Okay, and then you can see on my example from MadeItCon, we punched out some circles that has that scallop look to it, and my mother made 100 bows for everyone. It was so awesome. They already had their bows made to just glue on. So since I had so much left over of my die cuts, if I can pick those up here, I thought those would be a really cool embellishment, and they would go with my home decor. Yeah, I think that's going to look really good. That's really, really cute. And then maybe one of my hearts somewhere else. Don't want to get it over embellished, but I think that's going to work out really cute. So I'm going to hit it with some art glitter glue on the bottom and attach it. And then we're basically done. They're so cute. I just love it, love it, love it. So all you have to do now is put in your sticky notes, and this is sized exactly to have your 3-inch sticky notes, 3 by 3, and your pencil or your miniature pen. I don't know if you can see it better this way standing up. These make really, really cool Christmas gifts, especially to give to teachers. And they're really, really fun and quick. I hope you enjoyed today's project. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys.